Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. We went through a lot of the Miami Heat offensive possessions because it was a complete mess last night. In Game 2, we saw a lot of horns action which got Chris Bosh touches. He scored well and they won. And yet in Game 4, we saw very little of any kind of organized action. It was extremely frustrating to watch, and we're not clear to me why Erik Spoelstra isn't calling more of these sets more. And either he's calling them and the players aren't listening, or he's not calling them and they're getting a mess of an offensive possession. Either way, it's not good, and very well could just be the culmination of 4 long playoff runs. It's not unusual to see a good set to start the game since the game plan is so fresh in the players' minds. The Heat send Chalmers across, then pin down for LeBron to get his man out of position before LeBron sets the ball screen. Watch Rashard Lewis. He's confused where he should go next. As a result, he's in the way on Chalmers' drive, and while the Heat get decent movement on the swing, the Spurs are tremendous with their hustle and rotations to get the steal. Here's another recognizable set, but awful in its execution. Bosh is supposed to set a screen for LeBron, but makes 0 contact. LeBron is supposed to set the ball screen for Wade, but makes 0 contact. And Cole is supposed to set the flare for LeBron, but makes minimal contact. Bosh is then supposed to set a pin down for Ray Allen, but slips it before Ray even gets there. And even though they get a good cut, the defense is in perfect position to contest, and Bosh doesn't even go for the offensive rebound. Sheesh! This ball screen, flare screen action was pretty much the only recognizable set they ran all night, and it works best when Ray Allen is setting the screen. This time Bosh makes contact on his down screen, but Ray barely breathes on Diaw, but LeBron senses Kawhi jumping to Ray Allen and slips to the hoop for the layup. By having Ray run this action, not LeBron or Chalmers, the Heat can get better shots. Here's an example of Chalmers getting the same action, and watch how he doesn't screen the ball, which allows the defense to stay with their men. Then LeBron sets a terrible screen, Wade is just standing on top, and Chalmers tosses up a terrible shot. While the Heat ran horns 13 times in their Game 2 win, which helped Chris Bosh get a lot of touches, they only ran it 6 times in Game 4, and at least they went to their best alignment with LeBron at the elbow, and he gets free throws. Here's an example of terrible offense as LeBron and Lewis are standing around next to each other, making it very easy for Duncan to come over and force a horrible miss by Wade. Here's another horn set. Wade is slow getting in position. Lewis is, shall we say, ineffective setting a screen for Bosh, but at least he gets a high post touch, but has to shoot a contested jumper. It got seriously bad for the Heat when they run nothing on this sideline out of bounds play, turning it over embarrassingly. And watch this out of bounds play. They run nothing to get someone open except for a tough lob to LeBron. Notice how he establishes his right foot as the pivot foot. Very strange for a right-handed player, and you can see he's not comfortable trying to attack that way. This turns into a 17-second isolation where he almost loses the ball, yet miraculously gets a tough 3-ball to fall. And this possession was very typical of what they ran all night. No movement, no purpose, just 5 guys standing around freelancing, and LeBron was able to fill the stat sheet well after the game was over. So there you have it, sports fans. At the very least, on the offensive side, you can control those possessions, call plays, get good shots, run what works for you. Run that LeBron flash to the free throw line with Chris Bosh back screening Wade. We showed that in Game 3 a little bit, but they don't run it at all. It's very, very strange. I cannot figure out how they're deciding what they want to call. And if it's the players not listening to Spoelstra, that's a real problem. And if it's Spoelstra not calling the plays, that's a real problem as well. Make no mistake, defense is their real issue here as the Spurs are just dicing them up. But at least, because you can control the offense, give yourself a chance to get a good shot. Maybe get some confidence, get some energy up, and then maybe the defensive side will improve as well. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm headed back to LA so we can cover Game 5 in the comfort of my own office. But we'll have a lot more content coming up from Miami. I did some interesting stuff behind the scenes that I'll show you coming up in the next day or so. So don't miss that. And don't forget, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?